Welcome back to Sports Federation TV, presented to you by Western Cape Provincial Sport Confederation. We chatted athletics, we now had Q Sport, we're now moving to something completely different. We're talking Taekwondo. Mr. Barend, are you well?
I'm very well, thank you. Yourself?
Good, good. Young man, are you all good?
Yeah, can't complain.
Good, good, good. Barend, let's start with you. What is Taekwondo? Help us understand. I know there are many different forms of martial arts.
Okay.
So give us just a snapshot of some of the differences.
Okay, so what makes Taekwondo different, it's got to any other martial art, what makes it unique, it's got three things. It's got sine wave, something that I'll take an hour to explain. It's got 101 defined kicks, and it's got breath control. Now, a lot of styles do have breath control in a different way, but ours is unique to Taekwondo. Taekwondo is one of the only martial arts that's been studied via a university in Canada by the founder, General Choi. And it's a very modern martial art. It was founded in 1955 and recognized in 1966. It's also the main sport in Korea, north and south, and also practiced by their military and police. So it's a very well-rounded martial art. It's not just, a lot of people think it's just kicking, as they would see in the Olympics, but that's more the sport side of it. You know, there's a lot of rules. You know, you can see guys fighting, hands are down, very dangerous if you had to do that in the street. But it's good exercise. It's the benefits are all there, same as every other martial art. And like we spoke off camera, I mentioned that it's not about the style you do. It's about the student doing the style. But it also helps if you do a style that you enjoy and that works for you.
Talking about the student, who is this young student you brought with you?
This is Brad Smith. He's actually a second generation student of the same family. His son started with me before he did. I still remember him coming in and saying, "Yeah, no, this looks lekker. We'll try it sometime." But I did karate as a kid and And yeah, unfortunately, some things happened in his life and he got attacked. And it was a wake-up call, as most people need, and I'll let him take it from there.
Yeah, Brad, tell us a bit about that.
About 4 years ago, I was in the offices, and two guys came into the offices. They all started shoving me around, and I saw the symptoms, saw the signs, but at the end of the day, I was man down. The very next week, I approached Barend and I said, well, I'm here to start Taekwondo and the self-defense that goes with it. That was 4 years ago, and 4 years down the line, I'm heading for black belt, and 2 years running, I got the Western Cape colours, go to all the competitions, and yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying every moment of it.
So I mean, this came about as a interruption in your life, if you put it that way.
Correct, yes.
How do you find Taekwondo versus your previous martial arts style? Is it a big difference? Has it impacted your life in a positive way?
Yes, it has impacted my life in a positive way. Look, both styles you need discipline, you need commitment, you need to have the willpower to get through it. I've done karate and I found it with my age, going down in the sort of low stances, I would have battled with it. When I watched my son training with Barend, I enjoyed the flow of the style. I enjoyed the relaxed positioning and fighting stances. And when I started trying it out, or when I actually joined, I just went from sort of zero to here in 4 years.
And did you find that the karate background helped you in the Taekwondo?
Absolutely, yes. There's no question about it. I was a couple of months short of getting my black belt through karate, but first in rugby and girls and sports and life happens. I dropped that, and I regret it to this day. But you know, within the next month, I'll get my next goal, which is Taekwondo black belt.
Wow, wow. Barend, and as an instructor, how does it make you feel knowing that one of your students will now have a black belt?
It feels great. Just to be part of the journey, you know. We're not just instructor student. We've become friends. Yep. We go on holidays together. I mean, I know all these kids. I know his wife. We spend a lot of time together. If there's a problem, he'll phone me. If I have a problem, I'll phone him. Sure. And I do that with most of my students. Yep. We've actually become a very close family. And I mean, we're a big group. I think we went away for a holiday now, and they actually took me away for 10 days to the Orange River, and we were about 12, 13 people.
Yeah, correct.
And it's all from the club that just grew in together and just became a family. But yeah, I'm more happy for the fact that I can leave him, like, you know, when I'm not a parent yet, but like if your parent, the dad lets you go out and like, yeah, he's going to cause trouble and he's going to be okay. You know, that's the kind of feeling, because he's naughty. He likes to be naughty. But he's a hard trainer, and I know if I can't make it to class for maybe a meeting with Sports Federation or something, I can just give Brad a call and say, look, Brad, this is what I need you to do. I need you to work on these fundamentals, these patterns, work on these sparring drills. And he just says, okay, I'm writing it down, and then off he goes, class is done, no worries.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You mentioned the federation. How big is Taekwondo in Cape Town, in the Western Cape, and in the country as a whole, for that matter?
In the country, we are quite big. Compared to other styles who band together, we're not as big. And the reason why I say that is because we still... Taekwondo in South Africa is not new, but it's also not old. And there's a lot of politics, as with every sport, every martial art. Everybody wants to be the top dog and be in control of everybody else. And we actually in the process now of, well, not really in the process, we've committed now to the unified Taekwondo. Unified, basically meaning bringing all the styles back together, which was General Choi's original goal.
How many different styles are there, if I may interrupt you?
It's not necessarily different styles. You'll have your WT, which is World Taekwondo. That's the one you see in the Olympics. You have ITF, the National Taekwondo Federation, which is the same style that we train. You have UITF, which is the one which is now the unified ITF, which we're all trying to bring together so we can work as one unit. You have GTF, which was also by one of the senior guys many years ago who broke away and started his own thing. And then of course you have your American styles, like your ATA, your sports taekwondo, your combat taekwondo. And it almost feels like they lose a bit of the original because they don't work on the traditions as much. They lose their patterns, they work more on weapons which weren't traditional, and I'm not putting them down for doing so. I don't know their history, what training they have. I mean, myself, I've got about, I'm looking at over 30 years of experience now. And in that time, I spent like 4 years doing ninjutsu, 8 years doing karate. I did judo, Muay Thai.
So you've been around a couple of tatamis, as they say.
Yeah, I've hurt myself in a very positive way, and one of the best rules for good training, if I can share it with everybody, would be to be the first guy with a hand up when they ask for a volunteer. It hurts the most, but you learn the most.
For sure.
You know, when you can feel it, it's natural and it becomes easier.
Brad, I mean, now you become on the other side of the scale. You're now an instructor as well. How does the transition, and how does it feel to be on the other side of the mat?
I had no intention of going to championship. I had no intention of getting my colors. I had no intention of doing anything. I just want to go there and do my fitness, do my taekwondo and my self-defense. And with a gentle kick and a punch every now and again, I ended up at the competitions. And when you get that gold, when you get 2 golds in one thing, the adrenaline is just a great thing. So, and I also think that once I got my black belt, I want to give back to somebody, to the kids. I enjoy teaching the youngsters now because I know where I've come from. I put a lot of hard work into it. I've done extra lessons. You normally train twice a week. I used to train 4 times a week, private lessons through Barend, so I went through the ranks a little bit faster than most people would. But yes, I've been sore, I've been bruised, I've had broken ribs, blue eyes, all of that going through the last 4 years. But I wouldn't change it for anything. I think it's been the most incredible 4 years journey with Barend, not just as instructor, but as a friend and as a mentor through the last transition.
I think, Barend, in closing, how would you summarize the fact that you mentor someone older, number one, and the fact that you can impart knowledge to change people's lives?
I think it's my duty. You know, it's if you have the ability to help somebody, why don't you? You know, and one of the things on that I've noticed with Brad specifically is when he started coming to me. A lot of times when we start fitness class before Taekwondo, he would talk about, oh, this guy in the car in front of me, I just want to get off and just want to, you know. And now, when he talks to me in the same sentence or same way, he says to me, "Yeah, no, this guy almost caused an accident," and I just hooted at him, and he got off his bike, and he came up, and I said to him, "Watch out." And I stayed calm, and I wasn't aggressive, and that's the main thing. So, like, through all this ability that you learn, you actually become calm. You don't need to jump on a horse and, you know, get all worked up, and now you want to fight because this guy looked at your goal or did, you know, he laughs at them now. And that to me is important, because now he's not thinking with a small child mind. He's thinking with an adult mind, like, this oak's an idiot. I'm not going to lower myself to his standards. If he wants to try something, he's more than welcome, but there's no need.
And I think that's the challenge for a lot of martial arts specialists, if I can use that term, is learning that self-control to know when to attack and when to defend, and be on the back foot as a self-defense tool, as opposed to, he's now attacking me, I'm going to kill him or hurt him.
Exactly.
You know?
You know, one of our core principles when we work on our self-defense is that we never ever become aggressive. We never ever, you know, put our hands up and say, now we're going to fight.
Yep.
You always have your hands in a nice, calm, you know, humble way. And what I'm doing here is I'm not showing you that I'm scared of you. I'm putting my hands closest to whatever your weapon is.
For sure.
Those center points, so I can reach anywhere if I need to defend. So that's the kind of stuff that we love to, you know, impart onto our students. That it's not about, you know, being the biggest, you know, fish in the sea. It's about, like, you know, knowing where to go 100%. And how to save yourself.
Where do people find out more about you?
We're on Facebook, Mercury Taekwondo. I post ads all the time. You can find us on Gumtree as well. We've got a website, which is also mercurytkd.wix.com. Yeah, just find us, Google Mercury Taekwondo, and you'll find us very quickly.
Perfect. Brad and Barend, thank you very much. Thanks for your story. Come back when you got that black belt.
I will.
And the next gold medal, come show us.
I'll do that.
Perfect. Let's take an ad break, and when we'll come back, we'll show you some of the footage where we took at the news conference where SAFA and all its other tenants of Athlone Stadium were locked out. See you now.